بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عاوة halkan waxaan u nimid maartay kick off maartay Yusuf Haji oo ordaya maartay district 55B waxaan u yeerayaa maartay markuu horeyso inuu maartay si fiican noogu furo Said Mohammed Ibrahim.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm proud to stand here today in support of Mr. Haji, the 55B candidate, who is running for working families and for stronger Minnesota. Mr. Haji understands that when working families succeed, our entire community succeeds. He believes in fair opportunity, dignity at work, and policies that put people first, like Minnesota-based family. This is, that is his manifest, Minnesota-based live. So no one has to choose between their job and their family, So it's very important for the working families in Minnesota to have Minnesota-based live. And his leadership is grounded in service, fairness, and real commitment to the people of Burnsville and Dakota County, the people he represents. That is the kind of leadership we need in Dakota County. I'm confident Mr. Haji will fight for our families, our workers, and our future. Let us support him and help him win 55B. And also, everyone here and those also watching us and in the online, they should contribute. So then he can run a great campaign, because funding is very important, because he's standing for us. So he's getting the old headache, the old frustration, and thinking about the Dakota County. So we have to support him, whatever we can do, regardless, So thank you for representing our district and all of us, and I wish you for the best. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming out tonight. That's a big deal. Yusuf needs a lot of support, needs people to help not only raise funds, but to raise votes and to make sure that he can be the candidate that wins for 55B. My name is Chris John. I have ran for city council a few times. Hopefully you've recognized my name on the ballot. It's usually somewhere near the bottom, if you get down that far, somewhere with the judges or whatever. Hopefully you take a look this time around and give me a shot too. Yusuf is starting a long process right now that's going to end up going for the candidate for DFL to go to the election. So he needs your help. He needs you guys to caucus for him on Tuesday. If you go to the DFL caucus, you can help get him to that position where he can run as the DFL-sponsored candidate. And he's going to need money. I can tell you, elections are expensive. They cost a lot of money. Each yard sign, the little yard signs, $10 each. $100 for a big yard sign. Advertising. People need to know your name. Over time, you gain name recognition, but you only do that when you're able to get advertisements and get out on billboards and everywhere else around in newspapers, etc. So if you have the opportunity to give money to Yusuf, please do. It will only help his campaign and get him elected into office.
And I've had the pleasure, I first met Yusuf at the caucuses in 2024. Was that the first night that we met? I didn't know I was going to be speaking tonight, so I have the pleasure of supporting and working for Kayla Burke. I was her campaign manager in the last election cycle when she ran here in 55B. I joined her campaign in 2023, right after they finished that amazing legislative session where the DFL had the trifecta and they passed all kinds of transformative legislation that as a DFL party activist I'd been waiting for a long, long time to see. And right after that session, I reached out to Kayla because I was so impressed by what they did and the bravery that they showed and how they held together as a group. And I offered my help to work for her. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to do so. I'm a longtime resident of 55B. I've been here long enough to see the seat change hands from Democrats to Republicans and now back to the DFL. But now we are very solidly a blue district. We didn't used to be, but we are now. In fact, we're so blue that in the last election cycle, Kayla won by 18 percentage points. So we feel pretty confident that whoever comes out of the DFL convention and gets the endorsement for this seat will handily win. In fact, there are no GOP candidates that have filed to run in this seat yet. They probably won't until their convention in April, and they'll pull somebody out of the hat like they've done in past years, but they recognize that this is a district that is very blue. The demographics here have changed in a fundamental way. Burnsville is a working class city now. It is diverse city. It's the type of city that we need representation that Yusuf can provide. So I mentioned to you at the beginning that I first met him at the precinct caucuses in '24, and I was there. I actually organized and was the director of the caucuses for our local Democratic unit. And I went around each of the precinct rooms and I gave a surrogate speech for our congressperson, Angie Craig, at the time. And Yusuf had many questions for me, and it was great. And he then met with me afterward as we were kind of wrapping things up, and he said, I want you to deliver a message to Angie on behalf of related to the war in Gaza. He was very passionate about it. And I heard him out, and I relayed his messages to Angie. I don't know how well taken they were, but he made an impression on me, a very positive impression. And then when he decided to run for the Dakota County Commissioner seat in the last election cycle, I was very pleased to be out in the field with him and Chris John and Kayla Berg. We canvassed together as a group very often. And I saw Yusuf in action on the doors. You know, and when you are trying to win an election, Chris mentioned about the money. You got to raise money. And you got to buy the lawn signs, but then you got to put the lawn signs in the ground, and you got to actually go to doors, and you got to introduce yourself. And I was just thoroughly impressed by Yusuf as candidate. He does the hard work that it takes, and it is hard work. Chris will tell you. Any of us that have been out there will tell you it's hard work to be a candidate. I saw Yusuf convince people to put lawn signs in the yard that I would have bet, oh no, there's no way. And he would walk away and have a commitment to put their lawn sign in the ground. And it takes that kind of authenticity and be able to speak to voters in an authentic way that he has. So I know he's a candidate that's going to do the hard work. And even though this is a very blue district, and you could say, well, you know, any Democrat could win here, you still have to do the work. And that's what it takes. And that shows you the kind of, I think, that shows you the kind of work ethic that he would bring to the seat, because all of our DFL legislators, including here, not just Kayla, but Jess Hansen and Lindsay Port that represent this Senate district, they work incredibly hard on our behalf. That's the kind of representative that we need, and that's why I'm here tonight to support Yusuf. So thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I would like to call Mr. Mahmoud Hassan, who was a city council candidate last election.
Thanks, Cabo, my friend. I'm very glad to be here tonight with Yusuf Haji, who is the candidate for District 55B, Minnesota State Rep. I know Yusuf very well. He's my friend for a long time, last 20 years. Yusuf and I were similar. We ran 3 times office, but we never achieve our goal. We never just win the seat. But still, we believe to continue to run because Yusuf and I, we believe public service. And I think so this is the right time to run public service because our state facing the most difficult time. I have seen. I've been here 10 years. What we see ICE behavior is unlawful. And I believe no one above the law. No one above the law. What we see is not right. So we have to stand up and get together and to support Yusuf. This is time for to get strong leadership. And I believe Yusuf, he is the true leader. I know his family and Yusuf, they've been here for many, many years, serving with the community. And this district, for phase 5, is the diversity district in Minnesota. As mentioned, my friend, this is almost blue district, and this is the time we can change it and flip for the blue. So please, I'm asking for everybody here tonight, or people who watch me Somali TV, we can help Yusuf, donation, phone book. Please call your friend, your neighbor, tell them, helping and support Yusuf, because together we can achieve our goal. Together we can make our state a better life. And this is the right time for our state. Yusuf is the true leader, is strong, and I believe we can make November 5, next state rep in 5th district will be Yusuf. And he will be the first Somali or first Somali African immigrant ever elected district phase 5. So Yusuf, thank you. You strong leader, and thank you for making decision to run this difficult time. That's brave. Thank you.
I also know Yusuf from some political activity at caucus and convention. You know, what's impressed me about Yusuf, I knocked doors with him. He is a worker. He outworks, and that's the kind of mentality you have to be a legislator. You really must not just assume you're going to have the votes. You have to work for all the votes. And I was so proud to knock doors, watch him in action. Just as some other folks have said, he is authentic. He just represents working people. I'm a union member. I just feel that he understands the middle class and will just ensure that there's a better life in Burnsville for middle class workers here in our city, and fairness. And I know he's been passionate about the current conditions with the ICE raids, and I appreciate him putting himself out there. It's not easy. So Yusuf, let's tell all our neighbors what a great guy you are, and what a great leader and servant leader you would be for us.
But I just want to mention this. Like, I've known Haji Yusuf since we were young. We were young guys when we came to this country. We worked ourselves, built businesses, got married, have kids in our respective communities. But today I want to highlight a little bit about him. It's an honor, pleasure to be here in support of Haji Yusuf. It's a privilege speaking here about someone who exemplifies what leadership actually looks like at heart. He puts in great, smart sense of humor, and he keeps up smiling while he helps our community members. Doesn't care about color, race, religion, or anything. You can call him at any time. He'll be out there. Those are the things that simplifies. We don't call him leader. We call him servant of the people, you know, because you don't want somebody who, leadership gets into their head and they think they have to be treated in a certain way. Well-grounded individual, family man, businessman. He's here in our community, loved by many. So it will be a great pleasure and it will be a great honor to have him represent us in the House 55B. You know, I know the representative of this district on both sides, and they're very, approachable individuals. And with those histories, I think Haji Yusuf will be able to continue that work in the community, building consensus, and making sure that, his community members are well represented. We're here, your community is behind you. We'll bring everybody out who knows you, those who know me, those who know others over here. There's tons of us who are waiting to door knock for you when the time comes. So, Haji Yusuf, we're looking forward. You have our prayers, you have our blessings. we're looking forward to celebrate the win in November.
Haji is a good friend of mine who I've known for 20 years. I went to school with him at St. Cloud State University. That's where I met Haji. Haji has always been involved in community work, media work, businesses. So as somebody who doesn't do much of a public speaking, I'm here to vouch for him, to let him know that he has been putting a lot of work in the work, and he's done this so many times. It's my hopes that this time around, he represents the Burnsville community, in which he has built a lot. He's built so much in this community in the short time he's lived here. Obviously, if you look at this facility, he's put together a very amazing facility, and that tells you that he started from nothing, and he came here with nothing, and he had the privilege of putting himself first, putting the work in, and now he's trying to represent the rest and give back. And one thing I love about Haji is the fact that he's never given up. He's never given up. He's tried and tried and tried, and my hopes is that this time is the last time he tries before he moves on to Congress. So congratulations, Haji. I wish you well.
Alaikum. Thank you for having us here. It's very important right now in this time that we all get out and vote. The caucuses are coming up on February 3rd, and this is a major time for people to get their voices involved and make sure that we get candidates and officials elected that represent the people. Just a couple of days ago, the House is back to a split now, and the Senate DFL is still up one seat. We got to make sure we get good candidates elected, get our voices heard, and make sure we get the trifecta again. And that's what's going to help get state bills passed. The last session that we had a trifecta, we had all the paid family leave, all the acts that are keeping Americans and hardworking families going today. And Yusuf is going to be involved in making sure we continue to get good wins in work-wise, housing-wise, health-wise, and also making sure to keep the community safe from ICE, which is a very big problem right now for our community. And we have to fight back, and the only way we can fight back is making sure our voices are heard. So Yusuf will do a good job of that, I'm very sure. So everybody who can vote, everybody who has time to volunteer, who can vote, make sure you fight and make sure your voice is heard, and we will win. So thank you.
Thank you, Khalid. haddana waxaan u yeerayaa ninka musharaxa ah ee la yidhaha Yusuf Saciid Yusuf Haji. Haji kusoo dhowow. Waxaysana sii daa wax badan lagu fadhiya halkan.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, those that have come here and are showing support, not only for me, but you're showing support to the many voices that are outside this building, today, who are quiet, who are afraid, who are fearful, who are also being supported by the likes of you that are providing support in visiting them, providing for them, protecting them. So you're all here, not just for me, and that's not, I know you're here for this event, but I truly believe you're not just here for Yusuf, but you're here for the Burnsville community. And you're here for the Minnesota community. And you're here for the silent voices that cannot get out of their homes, afraid to go to work, afraid for their children. And I understand that fear, because I went through a fear like that growing up, and I know what it means. I understand that fear. And our community is fearful. And so thank you for you guys being here. And I also want to tell you that we shall together overcome. We shall overcome together. It's today, tomorrow it's going to be another day. The day after is going to be a bright day. And that bright day is going to be for all of us who call Minnesota home. Regardless of your background, who you are, where you come from, you're here, this is your home, you belong here. And part of the inspiration of me to be being a candidate today and running for 55B is I want us to draw a line. That enough is enough. That we are not going to be fearful. That we live in this community, regardless of our skin color, our beliefs, our religion, where we have come from, how we speak, that this is our community. And that we are drawing a line and we're going to push back. Push back nicer than the way some are pushing us harder and unfairly. We're going to run for office. We're going to show that we belong in this community, that we have businesses. We're going to show that we're raising our families in Burnsville. We're going to prove here, not only in Burnsville, but also Minnesota. So when I say Burnsville, I also mean Minnesota. That we're going to represent those voices that are not being represented. And that starts with Caucus Day on February 3rd. This is to do for you, is a to-do list for you. And one of the lists that you need to put on right now is that on February 3rd, from 6 to 8 p.m., you're going to come out and caucus for those voices that are being silenced here in Burnsville and across Minnesota. And it's very important you put that on your calendar. This is your to-do list. This is where you speak up and say, enough is enough. So I ask, more importantly, to show up, because, and also, and more importantly, they want you to be afraid. They want to take your democratic right of choosing leaders that you want away. That's why they are putting this fear in. That's why they are creating all this surge and ICE and everybody else into our different communities. There is a bigger game here that is being played. And that is to keep Minnesotans from exercising their right to vote and right to elect people that they want to put into office. And so that's why it's more even important for all of us to come out and participate in this process without being afraid. We will be there for you, we will protect you, we will make sure that you are able to participate in this process. I personally, it's never been about me. It's been about the people and the voices. Last year when I ran for Dakota County Commissioner, I said it was never about me. It was many voices in our community also that I felt were not represented. And I wanted to take those voices to Dakota as a Dakota County Commissioner. We will not be successful. But again, there was another opportunity that arise, and that is we have an open seat here in 55B. The candidate who was representing us has moved on to run for U.S. Congress. Carolina, wish her all the best. She's a great candidate, has been and will be for the people of 2nd Congressional District. But more importantly, there was a chance. And so again, after a lot of hesitations and a lot of advice and go back and forth, and the thing that I really felt personal was still those voices in Burnsville that are not being heard, needed to be heard, and that's why I made the decision again to run for state representative here in 55B. And we have a great chance. So I ask people in Burnsville to come out, caucus on February 3rd, and show support. And by the way, I think we should normalize using the F word. It's time we did normalize it, because I think a lot of people feel they want to use the F word. But hopefully I'm not going to use it now. But I think eventually I might have to use it. And if I do, with the permission of the people, of course, I can, I think, better express myself. And here's what I want to say, without the F word. I want to say, this time, you better come out and caucus and choose leaders that will push back on the Republicans and the agenda for the state of Minnesota and say no, because, again, I'm not going to use the F word. Again, these Republicans have the same intention as Donald Trump. There is no difference. What Donald Trump is doing on a national level is what they want to do for Minnesota. If we let them, they're going to gerrymander Minnesota. They're going to take away everything our state legislatures have worked so hard when we had the trifecta. They will take everything away. They will take our health care. They will take our child care. They will take our everything that our legislatures have worked, Minnesota paid leave. They will try to take everything away. And so from day one, we need a representative that is going to go toe to toe with these Republicans and say enough is enough, and you're not going to take away from what we have worked so hard to put in place here in Buzzville and across Minnesota. That's what we need to do. Those are the leaders. Those are the leaders we need to elect. Those are the leaders we need to caucus for and make sure we put forward and make sure that they get endorsed. Not leaders. We need, there is a clear, well, we have leaders, but we need more of us that can go out and fight for everyday Minnesotans and make sure that we do earn to be here, we earn to vote, we earn everything that our legislatures have worked, everything Governor Tim Walz has worked hard for, and make sure that we protect those gains and even do it better. How do we do it better? I will support a bill that will unmask ICE agents who come to the state of Minnesota. We need to know the faces of these men who are coming to our streets. They need to be able to be identified. We need to know their names. We cannot have goons running around in our state unaccounted for, committing murder and killing innocent people in the street of Minnesota. We're not going to allow it. And so as a legislature, one of the first things is we're going to make sure we have a bill out there, just like they did in California, in exposing some of these people who are coming to our state and committing crimes. We are going to hold them accountable no matter how long it's going to take. They can hide all they want, but they cannot hide for long. Also, I will support in making sure that there is a committee or there is a task force that will look into some of these ICE crimes that are happening in Minnesota, and we're going to put them up and we're going to make them testify and come in front of the state of Minnesota and tell us exactly what they did. Also, and similar bills are being proposed across the country, and Minnesota should be no different. And I'm sure the legislatures right now who are there, they have their own idea on how to go about this, but I'm going to make sure that I support those, and I'm going to make sure that we push in making sure that we hold everything the ICE are doing that is illegal, unconstitutional, held them accountable in a state level, as much as we can do and wherever we can do. That's what I'm going to make sure that we do. We, of course, always protecting the gains we've made, the gains our state legislators have made, and have kept it, and we're going to make sure we keep them without losing even one. Because that is the agenda they want. They want to strip away everything we have worked for, and we're not going to allow that. And that's what we're going to make sure we do that. So I ask you, Burnsville, 55B, working families, renters, homeowners, collective communities, those who care, show up, caucus. Make sure your voices are heard. And make sure you have people that you elect someone that will protect what we have already gained. With that said, there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and we have to do it. We're going to put in the work, and I need your support, financially, of course, but more importantly, volunteering. If you can give your time, phone call, door knock, however you can. Especially February 3rd, I need as much support as I can get, because we have to get our collective community to come out and caucus. Of course, There is logistical issues sometimes. Transportation is an issue. Language barrier is an issue. Fear is there. How do we encourage our community to participate in this process? It's a party process. It's a DFL process. It's allowed. Anybody can participate. As long as you're a DFLer and you believe in DFL, then you can participate. There is a fear that has been created out there on social media about, I'm not going to mention that right now, but there are plans in place to protect everyone that is going to be caucusing on February 3rd. So I ask communities, everyone, collectively, all of us, come out together and caucus and support the right candidates through this process. I, again, want to humbly thank all of you for coming. This is how we build. We start from grassroots. I am a big believer in Paul Wellston. I happen to have met Paul Wellston when I was new to this country. So a few years before he passed away, I was invited to one of the events in South Minneapolis, and I got to listen to his speeches. So I'm a big believer. I'm here because of Paul Wellston. To be honest with you, he's one of my inspiration of getting into politics in America. And I liked what he said, and I love what he used to, and I like how he articulated, and I love the way he loved the world. And so from that inspiration, I'm here today. I'm going to continue to be. And I'll continue to be and continue standing up for what is right. Remember, I told you it's not about me. It's good that you come out and support me, but I am putting in place a future that somebody of my color, my belief, my background can comfortably run for office in Burnsville. I'm paving the way. Win or lose, I know I will leave a legacy where 5 years, 10 years from now, a young person of my origin, or any origin from Africa, or anywhere in the world, will come to Burnsville, run for office, and say, Yusuf paved the way for us to be able to run for office. So last year was an introduction for me to the community of Burnsville. But this year, I hope you're more familiar with my name, because you've seen my signs, or when you were voting last year, you probably saw my name. But now it's going to have a DFL next to it. And we're going to make sure we get the endorsement, and we're going to make sure we go into the election, and we're going to make sure we keep our majority in the House, in the Senate, and we win the governorship. And that is our goal, and that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much. I much appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Let's go and fight and get this done. Thank you.
Thank you, Haji. Xafladdu waa noo xiran tahay, waa dhamaatay.